So this post is from a female's point of view. The title reads, "Exclusive sex buddy for a year, but they're scared to commit." How can you be an exclusive sex buddy? Doesn't that just mean you're in a relationship at that point? Anyway, let's see what she has to say. So I, a 22-year-old female, have been seeing this man, 28, for a year now. Yeah, if you're dating a man for a year and he doesn't want to be in a long-term relationship with you, then there's no hope. Like, he's already decided he just views you as a bit of fun. We met at our old jobs where he was my supervisor. Oof. See, women love to fall in love with a guy who's above her in the food chain. She wouldn't be dating him if he was on the same level or just below. We started to hang out outside of work as my friend was pursuing his, so we both joined along to support both our friends as the third wheelers. During this time, him and I started to get along really well. We spent almost every weekend together drinking in the cities as a group and started flirting with each other as a joke to make fun of our friends. I really like the start of this story. That sounds like quite a cute start to a possible relationship. It's good to see they avoided the app. So that, yeah, this is how people used to meet. They used to meet at work. At my job at the moment, HR put out these like training videos and courses, and it basically said sexual harassment is, making a move on a woman, calling her cute or trying to flirt with her. So it's risky now, guys. It's risky trying to get into a relationship or start a relationship with a girl you see at work, because HR could throw the book at you, you could lose your job and end up in court. So unfortunately, we're at this point now where you should probably avoid trying to get into a relationship with a work buddy. But yeah, back in the day, this is how people used to meet. Sad times we live in, I will say that. One night, both of our friends were third wheeling cancelled on our night out in the city. Initially, me and him were not going to go through with it as we thought it may be awkward, but we then said F it and off we went. I think we know how this is going to end, especially if drinks are involved. During this night, we did end up sleeping together. There we go. I thought this would have created space between us and made things awkward for sure, but we started seeing each other more often without our friends to do the deed. I think already this has kind of started off on a bit of an unstable foundation, because her viewpoint is that it's going to be a bit awkward. Why would you feel it's going to be awkward after sleeping with the guy, especially after you've met him multiple times? It kind of shows that it's quite clear that this bond isn't quite as strong as they first thought. Because if it's right. It's not going to be awkward. Especially if you're going to sleep with each other, it's going to possibly start to be something much more serious than first laid out. During this time, I had no feelings for him and thought it was purely casual sex that benefited both of us, but he started gaining feelings and expressed them to me. How can you have no feelings for a guy but then sleep with him? That makes no sense to me. That sounds like there's some red flags about this girl and about her mindset and feelings. And it also kind of just shows we live in a society where sex is just given out like Tic Tacs. Like, imagine sleeping with a guy even though you have no feelings for him. Even maybe she's just not admitting to her true feelings, or that's just encapsulates the absolutely rotten modern dating scene. Sleeping with someone you don't have feelings for, opening your legs to a guy that you don't really have any feelings for, just shows you how bad it is out there. Because someone's going to wife up this girl and know that she just mindlessly had sex with guys she has no interest in. Like, what the hell's going on here? Did she do it just for like social validation? Just makes her feel good to know that a guy fancies her? Like, what's going on, guys? So he started to catch feelings. He expressed it to her, which maybe made her get the ick. Who knows? But then she says, I too started to fall for him, and it continued for a year straight. So you both had feelings for each other after having sex, probably slept with each other multiple times, and for a year you both didn't pull the trigger on a long-term relationship. Like, what's going on here? Sounds like both these people are a bit backwards. We've had a lot of conversations discussing being exclusive with each other, but it all came back to him feeling the need to be cautious and didn't want to rush things. Obviously, I respected his decision. There'd been 8 to 9 months in when we spoke about it. Okay, so from a guy's point of view now, he's probably thinking this girl's just a sex buddy. He's probably seen some red flags where he's a bit cautious about her. And yeah, maybe that cautiousness came from her wanting to just have sex with him casually. And he kind of got a bit on the back foot about that. Like, you're going to have sex with me casually, even though I wasn't ready to commit to a long term relationship. So he's probably thinking, that's a bit of a red flag for me. How many other guys has she done this with? How many other guys has she been quite casual with? And that's going to give him a bit of a repulsed attitude, if that's a certain boundary that he does have. It's kind of like, okay, this is kind of my viewpoint here. Let's say she was a fast food chain. Let's say, you know, she was a Burger King, but she was presenting to the world that she sells tacos. Right, I think I'm going somewhere here with this, guys. So you're kind of offering to the world that, oh, I want a long-term relationship, but you're giving out casual sex. Do you see where I'm coming from here, guys? So it's kind of like, as a guy, you wouldn't want to be in a long-term relationship with someone who was just giving out free sex. You know, you don't go to Burger King to get tacos. I think that kind of makes sense in my head. Maybe it doesn't when I say it out loud, but basically what I'm trying to say is she's confused why this guy doesn't want to commit long term, but she's giving out easy free sex to him. And he's like, well, you want long term relationship, but you're showing this side of you, which makes me think that your words aren't quite in line with the values you give out. And can I just say, this doesn't make the girl bad in any way or have no values or wouldn't be good for a long term relationship, but just what you're giving out isn't something that maybe a guy would think would be long term material. And to be at the end of the day, he's having casual sex as well. So what does that say about him? But we know men and women are different, and there are different rules for men and women when it comes to dating. We just know that for a fact. Since then, he's always had it in his mind that we are together, and he tells everyone that we are, but doesn't want to put a title on it. Okay, yeah, that's a bit weird, and that's kind of shitty behaviour from him because it's like making you all confused and giving you different viewpoints of how the actual situation is. Since then, he's always had it in his mind that we are together, and he tells everyone about it. In one conversation, he did admit he was scared of commitment due to previous relationships, so it's not a conversation I bring up anymore. Well, look, if you were Margot Robbie, he'd commit to you long term, and I say that for when I give advice to guys as well. You know, a woman would commit to Justin Bieber or Brad Pitt. So don't use this excuses as something that you need to hold any truth to. You know, if a guy says to you, "Oh, I'm just not ready for a relationship. Like, I have these bad past experiences," all those bad experiences and those doubts would go out the window if Margot Robbie walked into the room and said, "Hey, I want to be in a relationship with you." He jumped through hoops to make that happen. So to me, it just shows that he's just not that interested in you. So don't waste your time on this guy who's not got burning, genuine desire for you. It's as simple as that, and it goes both ways. I do want to be serious with him, and we are, but I want the title on it because I don't know what to tell people when they ask what we are. Well, you're not in a relationship because it would have that title. You've been dating this guy for a year and he's not committing to you. If he's not going to commit to you in the honeymoon phase where he's crazy about you, he's not going to commit to you further down the line unless it becomes desperate. I've never been in this situation as someone's only had two previous relationships before. Is this normal for people to go through and should I wait it out? Well, if he's not going to commit to you now, he's not going to commit to you further down the line. Because, like I said, a guy's going to be goo goo gaga over you in the honeymoon phase where things are all new. It's a new body. It all smells nice. Smells of strawberries and roses. Yeah. Once the excitement kind of starts dwindling, there's going to be less opportunity or desire for him to commit to you long term. So if I was you, I'd just cut this off because it doesn't look good for you in the long term as well. If you're going to date a guy in the long term and he finds out you had, you know, this sexual situationship buddy for a year, he's going to be turned off by that. He's gonna be like, wait, what? You hanged out with a guy you didn't have strong feelings for, or a guy who didn't commit to you long term? That's just not going to be a good selling value for this guy who's going to come into your life in the future. So yeah, from my point of view, anything with this guy, he's not going to commit to you long term. He's just using you for a bit of sex, and he's probably seen with other women on the side. Because at the end of the day, you're not his girlfriend, so you can probably get away with that and not have any guilt following him around. So yeah, leave this situation, girl, and find a guy who has crazy desire for you. Anyway, that's all, guys. Cheers. See ya.